Remember last year when every 2 weeks Disney Plus was putting out a new Marvel TV show? Well, I do. What happened to all those books? You're about to find out. Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic episode of ComicGains! If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Royal Highness, looking very lovely today, just like usual, doing the princess wave. You do it too. Bow down, respect, and of course, there's Coco.
Oh,
the mask.
Oh, the Comic Coco is here, kicking it. All right, guys, today is Monday, and we just got done with Batman Day, which was this Saturday, which was awesome. Good to see you guys all on Batman Day. But Monday we do what, Zach?
The drop list.
The drop list! Yes, so the ComicGains crew gets together and we scour the internet for trending lists, hot lists, any kind of list that pertain to comic books. What, 1 year ago?
1 year ago.
1 year ago. And we try to figure out which of these books are dropping. And we make a nice list of the 5 most dropped books in the universe. The world? Probably the world, because I don't know what the other comic books in the other universes. There's probably some out there. But yeah, we report them to you, 1 through 5. And if you stay all the way to the end, you get Zach's expert opinion on which books he thinks you should pick up because they're an awesome price, and which books he thinks are the stinkers of the show.
And I got a question for you. What's your favorite top 5 or 10 list? Comment down below.
Oh yeah, we could do, yeah.
For comics.
Oh yeah.
Or if you want to say any other list. Like
this is my top 5 tacos. Beef, chicken, pork. No, I'm just kidding.
What else? Kangaroo?
Yeah, I bet it's delicious.
Mmm.
All right, guys. But before we do that, we got to get into something delicious to kick the show off.
It's not a beer, because I gotta drive. It's a coconut edition, coconut berry. Berries.
And what else?
Coconut. It's a Red Bull. It gives you wings, allegedly. That's what the commercials say. But don't jump out a window.
For mine to grow.
Yeah, where are they? Maybe it's like, I feel like there's a lump on my back. I don't think it's a wing, though.
You're like I start getting a hunchback.
I start calling you Quasi. It's pretty good.
Is it good?
It's majestic.
Oh, nice. All right. You know what else is majestic? Hanging out with us on Whatnot every Saturday. And just so you guys know, this Saturday is a special one because we are going to be at Rose City Comic Con in Portland, Oregon. And we're working out some live edition shows for possibly Saturday night. So stay tuned. It might end up being a pop-up depending on how it goes. But we're going to have tons of giveaways. We're going to be looking for con exclusives. And it's just going to be a killer hangout party. And this Wednesday is also Zach's birthday. So don't forget to come hang out with us on Wednesday.
We're going to have special buy it nows too. So if you really like those great buy it now gains, make sure to take a look at that when we have it posted.
All right, let's get back to the drops. Comics, that is. And we got number 5 on the list. We got everyone's favorite thing, ManThing, from 1974. Steve Gerber and everyone's favorite Mike Ploog. I love me some Mike Ploog. And this is the book right here. We got this is first ManThing's solo title and everyone's favorite duck. Second appearance of Howard the Duck. Oh yeah. And this book got hot last year with the Disney Halloween 1 hour special, Werewolf by Night. And we all got the surprise of seeing ManThing show up at the end of the episode and do some awesome stuff, like just steal everybody's heart. And this was a really special character, I think, when it comes to TV and movie spec, because almost every character for the last at least 2 years has had huge gains and speculation leading up to the show, the previews, and then as soon as the show or movie hits, the book just drops off and tanks. Bang. And like ManThing was one of the only books that actually went up. It kept going, was still on all the trending lists months and months after. It was just crazy. It's like nobody knew how cool he was. Then you're like, yeah, he is really, really cool. But we're looking at 1 year later, and don't forget Disney just announced they are going to make a part 2 of Werewolf by Night, which is going to be airing soon around Halloween time again. So we're all excited for that. So this book will probably go back up. Maybe it looked like he had a little camaraderie with Werewolf, with Jack Russell at the end of the show too. So we'll see how that goes. Special thing to think about when I was making this list, and I was kind of like, there's so many ManThing keys, and they're all really expensive. So just here's some to think about. You have Savage Tales, the magazine #1, which is his first overall appearance. Then you have Astonishing Tales 12, which is his first appearance in standard comic book form, which is also really expensive. You have Fear issue 10, which is his first headlining title. And then you have Marvel 2-in-1, where he teams up with The Thing, which is also a pretty expensive book. You got everyone's favorite giant-sized Man-Thing, right? Everyone likes some little giant-sized Man-Thing. And you have, Marvel Premiere 28 as well, which is, the Legion of Monsters, which is actually an expensive book, too, which is crazy. It has so many expensive books. And it makes me wonder, when you have a character that's kind of similar in the books that came out, like Star-Lord, he has his first appearance in a magazine, and then none of his other keys are worth anything. Which is weird. Like, I mean, that value, they're good. But, like, his Marvel Premiere first appearance is not very expensive. And you would think Star-Lord would be more popular than Man-Thing, right?
You think so?
You would think. It's kind of strange. So, and like I've told Zach time and time again, keep an eye out for a lot of the horror keys, Swamp Thing, Werewolf by Night, Dracula, any of that stuff, Blade, they're all like popping off. They're all cool things are gonna happen in the future.
Exactly. Well, price a year ago, it was a giant Man-Thing at for 9.4. It was $385 for 9.4. Now it's just a regular Man-Thing at 342. Not big of a drop, but the range is 311 to as high as 644. Average sale is 439. It's 11% drop. Interesting thing about this book, in the highest grade, it commands more of a premium. This one's one step below the highest grade, but there's hardly any sales for it, so it's hard to say what it is. So there's 1,581 total graded CGC. There's only 59 9.8s. There's only 197 9.4s to the 1,500. So the 9.8 or 6, I think it's 9.8, 4% of the total graded. A 9.4 is only 12%. So each one hits below the 25% of total graded.
The money spot?
The great money spot. So this tells you to get this book in a high grade is going to get you those gains. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be so many people wanting this book, and there's not going to be enough to supply the demand for the high grade copies.
That is true. That's probably why it keeps its value really well. And it's the smallest on the drop list. All right, next up, we got number 4. We got Black Widow number 1 from 1999. This is the Marvel Knights edition. It's J.G. Jones and Devin Grayson. Beautiful, beautiful cover on this one. This is the first issue in a 3-part miniseries, and technically, there's some debate on this, depending on who you talk to, but it's the second appearance of Yelena Belova, the White Widow. And on this cover, it's a wraparound cover, and you can see her on the back side. So it is kind of her first cover, but she's on the back of it. Now, she also is her first appearance is in Inhumans 5, where it's actually they don't even reveal what her name is, and she's kind of in the shadows, but that has been given the title of first appearance. Sort of wishy-washy. I like both of the books. The Inhumans 5 is significantly more expensive than this book, which is kind of surprising. And in this book, they also reveal that her name is Yelena Belova in Black Widow number 1, which is really cool. I think, from what I've read on this character, she's a really cool character in the comics, but I, in my own personal opinion, think she's cooler on screen, which is why, her MCU appearance is cooler than her, comic book appearance, which is probably kind of similar to, Red Guardian, he's much cooler on screen than he is in the comics, so that's probably why some of her books aren't as expensive as they should be, but there's a lot of things going for her. She's been in a lot of movies so far. Florence Pugh, who did an excellent job. She's been in Black Widow. She started out. We had cameos of her in Falcon and the Winter Soldier at the end, as well as Hawkeye, who was awesome in Hawkeye. And she's going to star in the Thunderbolts upcoming movie, which is going to round out one of the phases as one of the Avenger-type movies for one of the phases, which is going to be really exciting. So things to look out for this book. There is a variant cover, also done by J.G. Jones, that she's on the cover. So you got Yelena Belova on the cover, beautiful as well. You almost need those two books together. And there's a Dynamic Forces book that's also done by JG that looks really similar. It's really expensive. It's like an $80 book. So I've never seen that one in person, but they all look really cool. And I like the character a lot. So see how that Red Room goes. I think Yeah, first Red Room as well.
Well, price a year ago, she was doing those squatting, getting a nice toned butt at $184 for a CGC 9.8. Now, she missed a couple leg days. Oops. It's at 150. Not too bad. Range 96 to 240 is a high. 96 is a low. Average sale is 161. It's 18% drop. Not dropping as much as she should be. Anyways, total graded is 845. 9.8 is 382. It's about 45% of the total graded for CGC. Not the best number in the world, but it's a great cover, great first appearance, full first appearance anyways. And there's variants of it, I believe, at least one variant. Two variants. Yeah, I know you said I just got a lot going on in my head. So, pretty decent book, great character. I would say probably go after the humans, and then this one, but either buts would be good. Yeah, it's a decent book to get. Decent.
Yeah. She likes mac and cheese. So good. So good.
I know mac, but do I know cheese?
All right. Next up, we got number 3 on the list. And this is one of my favorite reasons why we do this list is because Zach got really excited. When we're going through the books that were trending last year, and he was like, whoa, what is this book?
I never heard
And it's
of it.
fun to talk about that kind of stuff. So we got Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 503 from 2004. We got John Romita Jr., J. Michael Straczynski, who did a really good run on Amazing Spider-Man. This is the first appearance of Tess Black, the daughter of Loki. And it's actually just the mother was a regular human lady. And this book was getting some major spec last year with the Loki TV show coming out. People are like, are we going to see Loki's daughter? Anything goes when it comes to the Loki show because they're like going to any kind of realm. We got Alligator Loki, we got Kid Loki, Golden Age Loki, even though there is no Golden Age Loki. It's funny why they call him Golden Age Loki. It should be like Silver Age Loki. But could we going to get Loki's daughter? I don't know. And this book never got super, super expensive. It's also the first appearance of Morwen, who's an immortal sorceress. There is some good stuff. The Loki season 2 is coming out soon, so there might be a chance that we see the Tess Black and they're the daughter. I can tell you from the story is kind of interesting. Amazing Spider-Man 503. Tess Black is only in 503 and 504, and the Morwen sorcerer actually takes over her body, possesses Tess Black's body, who is an ancient being who's been around for a while that like Doctor Strange basically putting this off to the side and came over and took over Tess's body. So Spider-Man and Loki had to team up to save her. And Tess Black actually has no powers. She's just a regular girl who is Loki's illegitimate daughter with a human lady. So I don't know if she's that important that we're going to see her, but that's really the story behind the story. Or that's the real story. Zach will hit you with the real story, though. Get those gains.
There was no trace being played on this book. A year ago, it was selling for $200 for a CGC 9.8. Now it's just tricking out to everybody. But anyways, no, that didn't make any sense. Now it's $100. Less so. Range 100 to 200. Average sale 150. It has gone down. It's about 50% drop. There's not that many total. There's not that many graded at all, especially for 9.8. There's only 79 total graded, and there's only 45 9.8. It's 57%, so not so good. But there's so little amount of these books graded. I think it might be worth a shot to try to find one in the wild. It'll be a little hard to get a 9.8 copy because it's all black cover, pretty much, the borders. But I think this might have some legs. It's unfortunate that she doesn't have powers, but that could be retconned. I think a Loki, that's a different Loki. I think Loki's daughter that has powers that could be part of a superhero team might not be a bad idea for Marvel to consider. So it's a shot in the dark, but that's how you get some of your best games.
Yeah, I mean, Owen Wilson doesn't have powers in the show, so and he's in there. It's like, wow.
Wow.
All right. Okay, guys, we have a special addition to the show. We had a tie for number 1, so we rolled the dice, and this is how the tie worked its way out. But number 2, which is also a tie for number 1, is The Truth, Red, White, and Black. Number 1, 2003, Kyle Baker and Robert Morales. Just an excellent, excellent book. This is first appearance of Isaiah Bradley, who becomes Captain America during Project Rebirth. So after the original Steve Rogers Captain America, they tried to redo the serum, and they put together a group of black soldiers and had a squad, and they gave them all the powers. And I think Isaiah Bradley was the only one to survive from the group at the end. If you've read the whole story, it does not have a happy ending. It's a very, very sad ending with like his wife and forgetting who she is later on. And great story. Very, very sad. But it's a really cool part. Really, really cool story. And it's kind of like nobody knew who this character was when, I mean, obviously the diehard fans knew who he was. But when Falcon the Winter Soldier popped off and everyone's like, whoa, Isaiah Bradley, really cool character. This book was really expensive when it came out. And like, I know I was looking for a copy. I had to buy a halfway decent copy for about $50, and I just was really happy to have one. And fast forward a little bit of time, Zach was able to find me a 9.8 for like under $100, I think, like after the book had dropped on the drop list. So keep an eye on that. Cool thing about the whole Captain America Super Soldier Serum, if you guys know the history of the Marvel Universe, almost, not all the characters, but almost the entire Marvel Universe is kind of based around the Weapon 1 programs. Like everybody's trying to copy what happened to Captain America. Like Hulk comes from that program, Wolverine comes from that program, Spider-Man technically comes from that. Everything is kind of revolves around that, which like Isaiah Bradley is kind of part of that whole deal. And it's really cool. He's already last year at this time got confirmed for Cap 4, so we are going to see him again in Cap 4, which is why this book took a huge jump again last year, and Carl Lumbly did a really good job playing an angry Isaiah Bradley, which was really cool. And we got to see a little glimpse of his son, Eli Bradley. And if you know who Eli is, he's the Patriot in the Young Avengers, which of all the young teams we've seen so far, the most characters we've seen are the Young Avengers. Yeah. So very, very likely that's going to happen. And I thought this was a little bit of a surprise on my research into this. There's like no variants of this cover, unless you guys know of any. I could not find any variants. There's not even like a newsstand. There could have been a newsstand in 2003, and there's no variants. It's just this one cover. And it's probably better that way, but I'm just surprised no one wanted to make another cover of that. But Zach will hit you with those numbers, though.
We wanted The Truth a year ago. For a CGC 9.8 was $190. Now, you can't handle The Truth. For 9.8, it's $72. Range, $64 to as high as $250 in an entire year. Average sale is $144. It's a 62% drop, just like the number 1. There's 1,011 total graded. 498 of them are 9.8 universal. That's about 49%.
That's probably
of total grade.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mom.
A thick cover. It's a very thick cover. So it's either going to have those creases, you're not getting them out, or it's going to be real nice. So
great price point to get this book. It's going to be a fairly major key for Captain America. And is Liza Bradley? I don't know. I don't know the names very well. I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. But it's
an expert.
Bad with names. Come on. So I think this would be a fantastic book. It's a great cover, great first appearance. I think this would have long legs in the gains. It has very long legs. And when when you have long legs, you travel faster. That's right. I would buy this book for 97.
That's true.
Or 72, I should say. I would buy this for 72. Easy. No brainer.
All right. And if you made it to the very end, we have the second number 1. Well, we'll just say number 1. Everyone's favorite, Marvel Presents number 1. This is kind of surprising. It was back kind of on a trending list this week from 1975. And this is the amazing Gil Kane and John Warner. And this is the king of retcon. I don't know about the king, but a very big retcon character. And it's the first appearance of everyone's favorite monster hunting daddy, Ulysses Bloodstone. And it's his first appearance and origin, kinda, because it did get retconned in later that his first appearance is in Strange Tales 73, where they say that character was Ulysses Bloodstone, even though he never gets named that. They're like, hey, remember that old book? That was actually him in the Silver Age? Kinda. You know how that goes? But he's, like I said, everyone's favorite daddy. He's the dad of Elsa Bloodstone, Cullen Bloodstone, and the new Lyra Bloodstone, who Zach very much enjoys Lyra Bloodstone. And this character got really hot last year, again with the Disney Halloween special, because we knew Elsa was going to be in there. And having read the Bloodstone story, the beginning of that show was very close, kind of close to the Bloodstone story, where he had passed away and was like, had his lawyer there and was like basically bequeathing all his money and wealth to his family. In the show, they had all the other hunters show up, which in the book it was just Elsa and her mom were basically getting. But it was kind of similar to that. He was like already dead when that happened in the book. He had like already passed away, and he's like this famous monster hunter. And they kind of retcon different things with Elsa as a story. Like in the book, she like had never met him, and she was already kind of like about to go to college. And then later on, when she has red hair, they act like she was hanging out with him being raised by him her whole life. That's why she's a good monster hunter. It's kind of weird. Someone wasn't paying attention to continuity when that was going on. But cool book nonetheless. But Princess will give you her warning, which she has given me her warning on this book. Do not overpay for this book. Because it got really hot, and I was looking at buying one too expensive, and she's like, what are you doing? That's way too much money for that book. I don't know. He's already dead. I mean, he died. I mean, unless they do like a prequel, which I don't think they're going to. Possible, but I don't know if anyone... Obviously, I don't think he only had 2 issues in Marvel Presents before no one wanted to see Ulysses anymore that I'm aware of. But just don't overpay for it. Princess's rule. Right, Zach?
Exactly. Well, we were blood in a year ago for CGC 9.8 was $1,000.
Woo!
Now we're blooding out at $381 for CGC 9.8. Range 307 to 1,000. Average sale is 561. It's a 62% drop. There's 550 total graded. There's only 73 9.8 universals. Wow. 13% of total graded for CGC. Decent book. Person died. They could have it would be kind of cool to see how BA he would be. So this could have a resurgence. It's
already on the list again for the new movie. Yeah. Or the new TV show too.
The only thing I would say that would be questionable whether it would go up if he doesn't show up is that it's Bloodstone. So it kind of ties a little bit together. Anything like a Bloodstone key might go up in, like when she comes back, and everything Bloodstone might go up of the key appearances, cover, sister, brother, father, mama, all that stuff could go up just because of that. So yeah, I mean, if you can get a high grade copy for a little bit amount of money and send it in and get a 9.8, I mean, that'd be pretty smart.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty smart.
I mean, definitely. That's probably why it's still over a $300 book, because of the rarity on the 9/8 scale, like Zach said. But that's crazy. $1,000 for that book. And that's only 2022. We're not talking like 2020 comic boom numbers. So that's really high for a book like that, which is cool. Like I said, he's connected to a bunch of really cool characters. Like everybody loves the kids, especially Elsa's super, super hot character. And we're going to see more and more of her, hopefully. So... exciting times, but Zach's going to give you, what's your expert opinion today, Zach? What's the number one Gainster book to pick up?
Well, you're pretty much guaranteed on the Truth Red, White, and Black to make money on. I would say, I would like it to be a little bit lower, but that ManThing one could be a very valuable book later on. I mean,
it's got Silver Age prices for a Bronze Age book, which is weird. That's weird. It's really weird.
It's this one's hard to say. I'd probably go for the safe bet with the Truth #1 for a 9.8 for $72. You'll definitely get that money back. It might take it a little bit, but you will get it back. Now, if you have deep pockets and you find a nice raw copy, That could be a 9.8, 9.6. I'd go after that. I would try, if you're buying it already graded, I would try to see if it goes a little bit lower, but it's questionable whether it will actually be lower anytime soon. So I'd go with the safe bet. The truth won.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here first. The truth. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the drop list for this week. And if you love hearing it as much as we love delivering it, do a huge favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you always know when we're going live on Wednesdays. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what your favorite Disney Plus series was that came out last year. I know they slowed down a lot. They were like, hey, maybe no more of these for a little while. I'm glad they're starting to trickle back in a little bit. Most of them I did like. Like if you go back and watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's actually a very, very good show. It feels the most like the movies, I think, compared to the other ones. But there's some other good stuff, too. That the Halloween special was way, way better, I thought, than the Christmas special. Just my own personal opinion. So I was really happy with that. And I'm glad to see Loki coming back, too. That's a great show. So Loki going to come back. The Halloween special going to come back. We're going to see some really cool stuff. Hopefully, Jonathan Majors gets his act together and doesn't ruin the Kang universe. Fingers crossed. But until we see you next time, Zach, you got anything?
Yeah, you gotta share. How you do that is, you got to be a cop, you idiot. You got to, no, don't think about that. You have to be cop or FBI agent, something like that, and, stop crime, this and that. But you get the wrong person mad at you, and they take out your entire family. Horrible. That's not how you get those gains. You still have to stop that before that happens. Then you become a vigilante and start punishing people. That's how you become the Punisher. And then try to punish Spider-Man and find out you can't do it because he doesn't deserve to be punished yet. That's to later when he gets a black costume. He's a bad man, I'm going to tell. Yeah, that's how you become the Punisher.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kindergarten Cop.
I know.
Detective John Kimball.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
All right,
Get down.
Stay safe and remember.
Get those Frank Castle gains.
Punish those gains.